Hi, everybody. This is Gail. Welcome to my live stream tonight. This is Saturday night. This is Thanksgiving weekend, and we are doing a Thanksgiving weekend live stream. I got so much to talk about. We're going to be doing our travel tips. I got 2 weekly travel tips to share with you. I'm doing a shout out list of shout outs actually for the Black Friday charity fundraiser that we just had. And this is the 5th year for that. And I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. And I'm going to give you a quick update on the fundraising auction that I had for the service dog. So we've got several things to talk about tonight, and I'm excited to be here and just share the weekend with you all. And first, I want to invite you that if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. And also, don't forget to click like on the live stream because that helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithms. Now, I'm going to go ahead and double check here. I want to make sure that the link was shared to our Facebook group. And if you're not in the Facebook group, I'm also going to tell you how to do that right now. And that is if you'll go to facebook.com/groups/Gale Vlogs, VLOGS, you can join our group. Now, we have a really good time over there, okay? So you want to come and join us. Now, we already have Valerie Reese here tonight. So, hi, Valerie, and welcome. I'm just making sure this is shared. Um, so, I had it scheduled to upload onto our group, and it didn't look like it did. So, now it's on there. So, yay. Um, Here we go. And I got a message coming in. No, I don't. Okay. Hey, oh, Lynn is here. Hello, Lynn with Over 50 and Fantabulous. We've got two awesome channels represented here tonight. And I just have to send Stellar Piper a reminder that we're going to be live tonight because we got to spend Thanksgiving together, and each of us arrived at our respective homes a couple of hours ago. And I forgot to send her the text to remind her. So there we go. That's our text to her. So, all right. So it did finally get posted on Facebook. We got two awesome people here. I want to give a huge shout out, thank you to several channels who helped with the Black Friday charity fundraiser. And like I said, this happens every year. And if you didn't see my video on it, or Valerie's video on it, or Pet and Chick's video on it, or Granny Monsters, then you need to go check them out. Just saying. I'm going to post the link in our description box right below here right now so you guys can check out the stream that I did. But it's going to be right under the link for the GoFundMe and right underneath the links for the channels that participated. So huge props there. And I think I've called this the live stream, but it was a video premiere that I did. I'm going to type that in right now. Okay, so that is done. I actually thought I did that earlier, but okay. So there we go. It's been a little crazy here. All right, and Valerie is saying Adventures and Bass Fishing with TK Heaven did a 2-hour live stream at 10 p.m. He did awesome. 2 hours. Okay, I'm just going to clue you in for those of you who are at home who don't live stream. 2 hours sitting in a chair, talking to people, coming up with content, keeping people entertained. That is such a big deal. It's a very hard task to do. Also, coming up with content. Several people did multiple segments. Really tough to do. So, my hat is off to everybody who did that. It's awesome. And Valerie says, big thank you to you and everyone who helped and donated. Here we go. And Candy the Wee Service Dog is here. So, hi, Candy the Wee Service Dog. How are you? And there we go. 71 Filters says, hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And welcome to you. Yeah, my Thanksgiving went great. My Black Friday was super. And Valerie has a total saying she raised around $11.50. So, woo! That is awesome. $11.50 raised for Black Friday charity event. The funds do go to Valerie's church to help with the outreach that they do. And the premiere has more about it. Valerie's channel has the most information about it. It's awesome. Valerie's saying the GoFundMe is still up. So that is awesome. I'm going to be, pull something up here. I'm going to be doing those shout outs here in just a second to those channels because we had quite an array of channels this year that participated, and it was all pretty awesome. So, pull that up. Okay, this is not working. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. All right, let me work on pulling some of these channels up. I want you to see Valerie's first. So that's where we're going to head on over to. And Candy is saying, you all rock. Black Friday was wonderful with all the YouTube creators. Thanks, Laurel. I'm going to second what Valerie said here and agree. And Candy is asking how long it'll be up. So, yeah, this is a tremendous effort. It happens every year. And I want to pull up Val's channel right now and start sharing it. There we go. This is Valerie's channel. She is, like I said, this is her church who gets the funding from Black Friday, and they use it to help provide Christmas. They use it to do lots of things. Christmas food, backpack program, all kinds of things. Last year we were able to help some during summer because we raised over $2,700. Of course, everybody knows this year life is down. I mean, things are happening, but still raised over $1,100. So that's huge. So, and I am just really amazed and very, very happy and very proud for all the channels that participated. So that's why I want to take a few minutes and just do the shout outs here. Okay. And let's see what else we got. Valerie Reese says, please pray for Lee from Hockenberry Hollow. She didn't get to live stream because she's very sick. Okay, we will. We will. And this is a tough time to be sick too. So I'm going to go ahead and share, excuse me, losing my voice there for a second. That's not cool. I want to go ahead and share Pet and Chicks channel also. So the way this all came down, and I talk about it in my premiere. So if you haven't seen it yet, again, click that link down below. And if you have seen it, I'm sorry, I'm fixing to bore you again. But what happened was I kind of got this idea, borrowed it from Blog Action Day. I went to Granny Monster, who went to Pet and Chick. Now, Pet, or Pet Monster as he was then, came up with this wonderful, wonderful hashtag called Create Not Hate. And the whole idea behind that hashtag is a little self-explanatory, is that people would put their energy into creating instead of hating. So I didn't have contact information from him, but I did have it for Granny Monster. And she was part of the monster community here on Facebook. And she was in favor of the idea, took it to Pet and Chick, and Pet Monster said, I will do this if we can give the money to Valerie. And I'm like, that's amazing, and all for it. Valerie was willing to accept the funds on behalf of her church, and the rest for the past 5 years has been history. So now we have to start getting ready for next year. So if you have any interest in participating for next year, contact Valerie, okay? And here's Granny Monster's channel. I want to show you that one. Whoops. There you go. So you know what that looks like. So there you go. And she's doing some shorts and whatnot here. So there you go for Granny Monster's channel. Big shout out to her. And let's see. Candy says that, I'm sorry, Laurel, Candy's mama, Candy the wee service dog, says she's fine. Monday is her dental cleaning and surgery is 7 a.m. So she'll be having that. Llama Monster is in the house. Hello. How are you, Llama? It's good to see you. And we have Stellar Piper here. So hi, Stellar. She has spent the past few days afflicted with me. And Valerie's saying the GoFundMe will be up at least through the end of the year. So you still have some time. And that'll be good. And let's see, praying, absolutely. And Valerie also says, I'm going to go and watch Pet and Chick's videos over again. I was so busy chatting, I missed most of the videos, LOL. I have to watch a lot of videos over. I'm doing the same thing. You will have it. I'm actually getting up early, okay, that day to pray for her. So tell her she better do well because I'm setting my alarm clock. Granny Monster joined me in my morning live stream. It was great. I remember her talking about not quite being ready for the morning, but she would hop on. And I got to tune in and listen. I didn't get to talk as much as I have in years past, but I got to tune in and listen while I was doing my Black Friday shopping. That was an experience to try to listen and to be in the checkout lines or try to listen and pick something up. And oftentimes, okay, dash into the store, find what you need. Everything was great there for most of the visits until you got to checkout. And that's where the lines began. And so like we went into World Market. I don't remember which live stream was going on while I was in World Market, but they had the line going across the back of the registers a little bit and down the side of the aisles. And it was crazy. And so they had this little mark on the floor and it said, line starts here. So I made a joke to the worker, right? I'm like, they ought to move the line back to the back of the aisle, move that sign back to the back of the aisle, because that's really where the line's beginning today. And I said, wouldn't that be funny if they had done that? And she had no sense of humor. None. So I apologize for saying that. But anyway, it was an experience. So I'm going back like Valerie and listening to some of the streams because I didn't get to do that as pay as much attention as I would like just from being in line. But I did get to pay some attention, and like Pet and Chick did this recreation of the Bob Newhart show where they're talking about Christmas Eve, and somebody there at their house has come and they've had a baby at their bed and breakfast and stuff, and they did this whole kind of recreation with lots of very snappy, cute graphics. That was so cool. So anyhow, let's see. Over 50 and Fantabulous said she is praying for prayers, Sister Candy. And oh, good. Llama Monster says I'm doing pretty nifty. So that is great. And Laurel is saying, thank you, Lynn. Having anxiety about this. I've been praying and asking God to keep my mind and spirit with his peace. We will do that. I've been praying for healing, so I will pray for peace as well. Valerie says she did some online shopping today. No lines to stand in. LOL. Huh? That is the best way to do the shopping. I am convinced. Although I do like going out on Black Friday, but it wasn't as bad this year as it often is. But still, it's still nice to do it from home. It really is. Okay, now I'm going to pull up. Let's see. Action Gal went after Granny Monster, so I want to pull her up. Second here. Candy. Thank you, Gail. You're welcome, Laurel. So I'm going to pull her up for Action Gal, because Action Gal also was part of this wonderful effort. Okay. Oops. I hit the wrong button there. I am all fumbles tonight. I got to tell you, this is crazy. Okay, here we are. Yeah, no sooner did I pull Action Gal up that I closed the tab. So sorry about that. But here we are. Action Gal, she participated in that. And this was really cute. And to think I saw it on Mulberry Street, really cute job with that. Lots of neat, snappy things. So here's her channel. So there you go. There were so many neat personalities. We just had a really great mix of channels there. A new one to the group this year is Jeremy Day. Let me see. I also want to. Valerie says, I want to shout out to my friend Jennifer, who helped me stuff 42 stockings. 42 stockings for the Salvation Army yesterday while we were participating in the live streams. Are you kidding me? 42 stockings. That is freaking amazing. And you don't just sit down and do that in 5 minutes either, So, all right, let me pull up Jeremy's thing here today. Now, Jeremy's a smaller channel. I just want to show you, you don't have to have, billions of people on your channel to participate, which is really nice. Because I think that sometimes we get the impression, or the concern rather, about having to have, lots and lots of subscribers, and you don't. And we also get concerned that you have to donate to be part of this, but you don't have to, because even sharing and telling your friends and put it out on Twitter and so forth, like a lot of us did, that helps too. Because it's not just about money, and it's not just about Val's Church. It's also about raising awareness of what people go through who need help. So here we go. Jeremy D. Day vlogs and stuff. Here's Jeremy's channel. Here you go. So you can see some of his stuff. So shout out to him there. Big shout out. So those of you all who were participating in the Black Friday charity event, in any capacity, whether you did a live stream premiere, whether you supported channels, whether you tweeted it, whether you provided support for somebody who was doing the live stream for charity, tell me down in the comments what you think you feel like for you was one of the best things about this effort, because I really want to hear that. Okay. Let's see. Candy says, I'm going to shop both in the online store Friday, December 3rd. By the way, it's Gail's fault that I'm addicted to shop on Amazon Prime. I will take that. Yes, I'll receive that. It's my fault. But that's okay. You enjoy it, right? And asking Valerie, do you have enough backpacks? So that's a good question. Also, I want to toss out this little bitty thing. If you look down in the description box, there should be a link for my Amazon affiliate link. And if you shop through that Amazon affiliate link, then you will be supporting this channel without spending any of your own money out of pocket. It's a commission that Amazon gives, but you do have to use that particular link. And so I'm putting all the Amazon commission money toward my future service dog. So if you want to use that, I would appreciate it. Now, Amazon's not going to tell me who shopped through the affiliate link and who didn't, but just know that if you do, I will be grateful. Okay. So there we go. So Candy's going to do the online store on December the 3rd. She says, okay. And Valerie, do you have enough backpacks? Valerie also wants to shout out to Lisa, a lady that, lives near me on YouTube. She came to the house yesterday to help wrap gifts for 4 children in need that we adopted at Christmas this year. So how cool is that? And I will tell you from past experience that if you happen to go to Val's house, she will find something for you to do for somebody else. So it's a really great experience, just saying, on many, many levels. So let me give a shout out also. Fariana Vlogs participated, and Fariana is Valerie's daughter. She does some really cool things on her channel too. So here she is. Mom Gamer Cooking Blogger. She just lays it out right there. Some cooking. She's done some weight loss. Pretty neat gal. So this is her channel and what hers looks like. So definitely wanted to give that shout out to her. Okay. And we're not finished yet because we have another one. I'm going to actually go ahead and do 2. Adventures and Bass Fishing with TK Heaven for their live stream. But I also want to go ahead and mention Hockenberry Holler because I know that she wanted to, but she just couldn't because she was sick. So I'm going to go ahead and do a shout out to her anyway. Okay. Coming back in here. Where am I in the chat? Let's see. Oh, Mel Mel's in. Hi, Mel Mel. One of the greatest guys on the planet. If you guys, I've got some videos coming up where I went through something that's been pretty difficult for me, still going on in some ways, but Mel helped me with the videos, and I just want to give a super big, huge thank you, shout out to Mel for helping me with this, because I could not have gotten through it without knowing that some of these videos were in somebody else's capable hands, because it's just been, y'all know, it's been a rough year and everything. And without his help, I do not know how I would have gotten through. Just saying. So, Mel, huge thank you for that. And let's see, Valerie was answering about the backpacks. She said, we have enough backpacks. We raise money for the food to put in the backpacks every weekend. Yep. Tanya is in. So hi, Tanya, and welcome. And y'all, please don't forget, I got a sticky note here to remind me to ask you all to please don't forget to click like on the live stream. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Okay. So there's Tanya in. So hi, Tanya. Laurel says, hi, Mel Mel. Watched your live video today. Thank you for your raw emotion, Mel. Doing great, Tanya. Doing great. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? So here we go. Oh, Annie, Janie, and friends says, oh, nice. I have a service dog. Service dogs are awesome. I'm in between service dogs right now. Mine passed away in March of 2020. Not related to all the other COVID and stuff that was going on. But we also have Tanya here. Tanya's got a service dog. We also have Laurel here, Candy, the wee service dog's mom. So obviously she's got a service dog too. So you are in great company. It's okay. Things come up, Tanya. She says she was really busy and not able to participate in the live stream yesterday. You know, life happens. Aw. Tanya says that Archer says hello, Archer being her service dog. Mel Mel says he wishes he could stay, but he has to get back to work. I hear you. And Candy's asking, what breed is your service dog, Annie? And we're going to go ahead to, while you guys are talking about that, I'm going to pull up the channel of Bass Fishing with TK Heaven. And the live stream yesterday was really cute, but I've got to be honest with you, I didn't get to watch all of this yesterday because my phone died. Then I put it down to charge, and then I died for a couple of hours, went straight to sleep. So I got to come back to that. But it's TK is live. Let's chat Black Friday charity. So there you go. And here's his channel, so you know what you're looking at there. Adventures and Bass Fishing with TK Heaven. So there you go. And we're going to go on over to Hockenberry Holler. Pull that up. Hang on a second. Let me get back to the chat too for a minute before I do that. So Candy says, take care, Mel Mel. So, Tanya says, Annie, my service dog is an English lab. And mine was a husky mix. I don't know what the next one's going to be. That's up to the agency. Annie, Janie, and friends says, my service dog is a yellow lab Shar-Pei mix. Aw. Please shout out to Uncle Steve Shake, who put in the largest donation of $400. Oh, my stars. Okay, you all, just fill in. Uncle Steve Shake is this really, really good steak seasoning. Well, actually, you can use it on steaks, pork chops, popcorn, turkey, chicken, I think just about everything. And it's really good. Now, he supported us pretty big for the past couple of years. So, yes. I'm going to see if I can pull his channel up too. Okay. You go. Give me just a minute. First, I want to go ahead and pull up Hockenberry's channel. Second. I just about need to have two hands moving in sync right now. So give me. You really need three sometimes as a YouTuber. Just saying. But that's great. My thing is, when you're Italian, you really can't talk without your hands. So if you ever need me to shut up, tell me to sit on my hands. Just saying. Okay, here we are at Hockenberry Holler. She was going to stream, but then didn't feel good. So I'm going to shout out to her anyway. She's a neat lady. Neat lady. So there we go. I'm going to get back to the chat a second, and then I'll pull up about Uncle Steve's Shake. Also, Tanya says, way to go, Mel. It's awesome. Oh, Stellar says dinner's here, so she's heading out. So bye, Stellar. Thanks for coming in. It was good seeing you for Thanksgiving. We got together and met at a restaurant about halfway. Annie, Janie, and Friends says labs are the best for service dogs. They do make good service dogs. Mine though, he was a husky mix, and he was super. German Shepherds are good for protection. They can be. Oh, that's a nice mix, Annie. That's from Candy the Wee Service Dog. What is your service dog for, host? God bless you, dear. My service dog did several things. I will hang on just a second. I will answer that in just a second. If I forget, if I get sidetracked, going down a rabbit trail, somebody remind me, come back to that. Also, Tanya's saying that she spent Thanksgiving just herself and Archer. It was peaceful and she loved it. Cool. It's nice to have just a quiet Thanksgiving sometimes. Annie, Janie, and Friends is saying it's interesting what we all need a service dog for because they are so dear and special. True. Absolutely true. Candy the Wee Service Dog. Now, Candy's a Chihuahua, and Candy the Wee Service Dog says it was just Candy and myself. Today, some gracious and loving friends brought Candy and I a Thanksgiving dinner plate this afternoon. Oh, that's so nice. Good. I'm glad they did that. That was real sweet. Bebo, you are doing great, Mel. Mel is awesome. He just, knowing that my videos were in his hands, and that was one stress I didn't have to worry about, was huge. I've got some product reviews that are going to be coming out over the next week or so, week and a half, and then we're going to get into the videos that he worked with me on. And that was my breast cancer scare. Turned out to be precancerous, but I documented that process. Originally thinking that I was just going in for a mammogram. I knew I had a little issue, but I didn't expect it to be anything. It was time for my mammogram. And so I thought, well, I will document this. So hopefully the next person who comes behind me won't have to be really, nervous and tense and stuff, because I couldn't find anything from a patient's perspective. Yeah, and that kind of backfired. So it wound up being a much longer set of videos, but emotionally, I needed to have my act together, and that's where Mel was able to help me out. Super, super person. Tanya's saying, I'm going to go talk to you guys later. I'm tired. I think I'm going to go take a nap. Tanya, thank you for coming in. Thank you very much. Always love seeing you, dear. Go get some rest. Give Archer a pat on the head for us too, okay? So, good night. All right. Let me pull up about Uncle Steve's shake. Now, it's all hand mixed, okay? And he supported us really big, like for the past couple of years. So, this is not his YouTube channel or anything. This is his store. And he's got the Gator Shake, which he gave us samples of a couple of years ago, and it's really good. I like the original, I think, best, but the spicier is also good. Just saying. But huge shout out to Uncle Steve's for supporting the Black Friday charity fundraisers. And I don't think there's a thing you can't put this on. But if you run across something, let me know. Okay. So, yeah. And again, if you guys were helping with that, I'd love to know what you think the best part of this effort is from you, your own personal opinion on that, okay? Because I love hearing everybody's opinions. Okay, and Candy the Wee Service Dog says, Annie, my service dog is a 6-pound Chihuahua. And bye, Tanya. And yes, it was. They did this, was a great surprise. Cool. It's nice to have friends who will do things like that for you, like bring you the meal and stuff. It's awesome. And Annie says, Candy, how sweet your little guy. Yep. Aw, sweetheart, God bless you. Thank you. Um, Candy says Mel Mel was talking about his video skills and how he learned a lot being a YouTube creator. Yeah, he is an awesome guy. Just saying. Because really, like I said, I couldn't have done this without him. Just knowing it was just a really, really big help, knowing that that was one thing I didn't have to stress over. So I'm going to go here just a second. Travel tips. I promised Gloria, who is not here, because her husband's friends started doing poker night on Saturday night. So she'll come by and watch some of these videos later. But a long time before he did poker night, when she was coming a lot on Saturdays, she kept saying, please do your travel tips. Please do one or two a week. So I'm like, I'll go ahead. I'll toss out the 2 travel tips a week, because a lot of my channel is about travel. And so we're going to go ahead and do those 2 travel tips. I'm going to pull up one of my travel tips for this week is to always have a flashlight. I'm going to pull up, if I can get it to pull up, I'm going to pull up a flashlight that I've got. Because it has been a great thing to have. So on the flashlight, you know how you always have to worry about batteries going down? Well, I was able to get some hand crank flashlights, and the exact ones that I have are not available anymore because it's been, this says 2017 when I ordered them. They're still going strong. You just crank them with your hand, and you don't have to worry about batteries. And if it starts to go down, you just crank it some more. But they're really, really good to have. Now, these obviously are a little bit bigger than some, but they still fit in my purse or my backpack. And these are ones that I actually use. So that's why I feel pretty good recommending them or even suggesting them. It's always good to have a flashlight tucked away because, not only might something happen when you're traveling, but, like the other day, I was in a ladies' restroom and the power went out, and this was Walmart. And I still don't know why the power went out. But anyway, here I am in this dark restroom, and people were grabbing their phones and stuff, which was great. But my phone, the lighted screen glares at you when you're trying to have the flashlight coming out the back. So I just whipped in my purse, got my flashlight, hand cranked it, and I could see. It was so nice. Then after about a minute, of course, the power came back on. But it was really nice to have a flashlight. So my travel tip, number 1 for this week, is take a flashlight. Big, small, whatever you want to take. I prefer small ones. You don't have to spend big bucks on it. You can actually get them at the Dollar Tree, and they're pretty small. They're worth it. Stick it in your purse. Plus, I also have to admit, sometimes I've got this big purse, and I have hard times finding things in my purse because for some reason, everything that I get is black. So if it's a case for a microphone, if it's my phone, my billfold is also dark, which is something I'm going to change later on. Everything in the purse is black. My selfie stick is black. So I go through and I put glow in the dark paint on it so I can find these things. But guess what? If it can't get to the light, it's not going to glow in the dark. So a flashlight to help dig around in my purse comes in handy sometimes. Just saying. So that's a travel tip for you. Going back to the chat, Valerie is saying he has a dessert shake now. He sent me a sample. It's good. Ooh, that's cool. I never thought about a dessert shake, so I got to go check that out. And Candy We Service Dog says they are ambassadors for people with disabilities. I agree with that. I think that's well said. Annie, Janie, and Friends says, I want to support Uncle Steve's. Yeah, he's great. I think, let me see, he may be on you have a YouTube channel. Hold on a second. Ah, maybe not. Maybe I'm just dreaming and thought he had a YouTube channel. No, he does. He does. Okay, he does. I'm going to pull it up, give him a shout out on his channel too. So y'all know what you're looking at there or looking for there. There we go. Here's his YouTube channel. So there you go. That's his channel. Okay. And I didn't know he supported us like that. So I'm going to go in and try to remember to add him. Well, I'll just go ahead and put his link down below while I'm thinking about it right now. Because if I don't, I'll forget. You guys know me. So I'll do that right now. Now, I will say if you order from him, he ships out pretty quickly. Tossing that out there. Okay. And let's see. Pull it up, back to here. And Laurel says, he poured out his heart on his live stream today. And that would be Mel Mel. He does some really good straight shooting from the heart. Who, Candy or Uncle Steve? Candy is Laurel's service dog. So when we say Laurel, we're talking about Candy the wee service dog. And Valerie's saying Uncle Steve is a YouTuber who makes spices. So there you go. Candy has a road trip tip. Have blankets to keep warm if you get stranded on the road. Also have extra water bottles and snacks too, so you have something to eat if you're in a traffic delay. That is a big deal. Snacks help. Gotta say, if you guys saw my Facebook reel, you saw what just happened to me the other day. We had a huge delay on the interstate. Hey, Angie in real life, Empowerment TV. Hello, hello, hello. She's here with us. One cool chick, too. Good tips. Thank you. And thank Laurel. Okay. And the others, I'm going to go ahead and just mention two others here. One is to bring hand warmers. If you're going to be doing outside activities, especially like from fall through the end of spring, bring those little hand warmers, because you can put those obviously in your gloves, in your pocket, in your feet. And it doesn't have to be super cold. Like, you don't have to have Alaska weather to need the hand warmers. I actually use them more here in the lower 48 than I did when I was in Alaska in February. But they help. So, like, if you're going to go on a sleigh ride, you can bring them. I've also gotten them where I have put them on my thighs and held those underneath a blanket with my hands to kind of keep my thigh and my hands a little bit warmer. They're just very, very helpful. So you can actually get those and throw them in the car until you need them. So very helpful for that. Also, if you have any kind of like little roadside emergency kit or anything like that for your car, you could toss them in there. So they're just kind of good to have. You can pick them up at Walmart or order them from Amazon, however you like to do that. but they're great. The other thing that I want to toss out, we just did, and that is to go places during the week or go during the off season, depending on what you're doing. If you're taking a road trip or you're traveling, because it can save you tons of money. For example, you'll see on my Instagram feed that this past week, my husband and I got to take a vacation and relax. We went to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We took the trailer and went over there 4 nights, so 5 days on the beach. Didn't have to spend the night out going to the beach and pay for it because Cracker Barrel, we overnight in the Cracker Barrel parking lots. And did that going and back and forth. We had a gift card that somebody had given us back for my birthday and for my husband's birthday. So we saved both of those. But on the beach, that whole week, all 4 nights cost us a total of $84 to stay in the campground on the other side of the dunes from the ocean. So going on the off season saved us a ton of money. Also, you've heard people talk about, quote, great weekend rates. If you go to an area that's got heavy business traffic on the weekends, it's slower, so they'll drop their prices on the weekends so you can take advantage of the rates. If you go to, but it's opposite. If you go to a tourist area, if you go to an area of high tourism, then you want to go there during the week because they don't get as much traffic during the week. So during the week, the prices are less. So try to go off season wherever you're going because you can save a lot of money that way. The other thing, you don't have as many crowds to deal with. So you're not standing in line or anything like that. And pretty much, I will tell you, you can have, it can seem like you have the whole beach to yourself. Like, check this out. Off season, last week, and we've already talked before about taking your own food and stuff to save the cost. But here we were on the beach last week, and you can see a million shells there on the road at the Outer Banks. And what you don't see is lots of people. So we're looking up the beach a little bit more there. It's like having it all to yourself. And there we are, and that's actually a little lighthouse there. Well, not little, it's Body Island. Nope, that one's Hatteras, just kidding. Hatteras Lighthouse. But all this stuff that looks like gravel, that's seashells. That's there on the beach. So the other big advantage to going off season. Okay. All right. So Gloria, those tips are for you, hun. Okay. So when you come back and see it, you'll have your tips waiting on you. Just saying. All right, back here to the chat. Thank you. Great tip, Laurel. Yes. Oh, Candy saw the reels that I did on Facebook. She says, yes, I did. I love the look you gave John. I couldn't, we spent this time in line, and then we found out he says, I should have taken the shortcut. I was like, what? And he's like, well, I mean the alternate route. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I did this little reel, and I'm like, and it's like my second reel ever. And I just like snapped my head over there to him. I was like, you're kidding me. There was an alternate route. We have a 40-minute delay. We're 15 minutes into it. And now you're telling me? But that's kind of just travel with a husband sometimes. They don't ask for directions, right? And they sometimes don't take them after they have them. Or at least mine doesn't always do that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Angie in real life is saying she may have to get me some for a high school football game on Friday. Let me tell you, those little hand warmers are perfect for high school football games. Yes, indeed. I spent a small fortune on those when my kids were in band. Wise investment. And Candy says, yes, Gail, I wear gloves even on mild days, 50 degrees for me, because I have circulatory symptoms. So there you go. And probably if you have circulatory problems, you may want to check with your doctor before using the gloves too. I just thought about that. Oh, isn't it amazing? Angie in real life says, OMG, I love the Outer Banks. We went there in March. It's amazing. And there's so many things to do out there that are free. I didn't realize that. Like, I've been out there before, but it like never hit me until this trip. It's beautiful and it's fun. Okay, Candy's got to leave the live stream at 8 to get ready for Monday. Gotcha. Delays are part of the adventure. Yeah, sometimes they're not. I don't think he noticed or picked up on your expression. Now, at that point, he was like focused on the road. But that's okay. Yes, my doctor was the one that suggested them. Okay, great. Somebody asked me something a few minutes ago, and I said I would come back to it. I think I went down one of those rabbit trails. Help me out. Who asked me something? I should have written it down. I usually make notes. Oh, speaking of something else too, while I'm sitting here flipping my notes around that I had earlier, I have an ebook down there in the description box. It's totally free. I created it. It's on Google Drive right now. It's road trip games, and you can use them they're for kids. You can make copies of them, whatever you want to do. So anyway, the ebook's down below. It's a Google Drive link. It's bit.ly, but it goes to a Google Drive. I just shortened the URL for you. So totally free. So go download that and have fun with it. Bingo. Thank you, Valerie. They asked what my service dog was for. Okay. Tomlin was my service dog. I had him for 13 years. He was nothing short of amazing. All service dogs are. He was just awesome. So some of the things that I have going on with me is I have a head injury. So I have some short-term memory issues with the head injury. So he helped me with that because he could remember like taking my medicine, because we at first set an alarm so he knew about what time of day, and so he would remind me on that. And he would decide when it was bedtime and if I'd been up too late, and he would try to get me off the computer, because one of the things that I do where I didn't before I had the head injury was I get like no sense of time, which is good in some ways and bad in some ways. So I can get in the car and drive for hours without realizing, but I also get focused in, and it's bad because I get to doing tasks and I don't realize. So it's like continually surfing the internet or continually working without realizing that time's passing. So around 11 o'clock at night, sometimes as late as midnight, very seldom as late as midnight, actually, he would come and he would start, he'd come and he'd alert, and he'd sit there and he'd kind of whine. And if I didn't get up when he thought I needed to, then he would start bumping my arm to try to get me off the computer. And so he would do that. Also, I have a problem. I have foot drop. So I have to wear a leg brace because I fall. And I also have severe leg cramps, bad enough that I have actually torn my muscle trying to stretch the leg cramp out, and it pulls my foot completely to the side. It's Stellar Piper can tell you, she's my daughter. She can tell you it's my horror movie move. And he would help me by providing deep pressure on my leg when I had the leg cramp. And that would help, plus the heat of his body would help. So he would help me with the leg cramps. He also did counterbalancing to steady me when I'm walking or was walking. Huge help for that, especially when it came to steps, to have that mobility assistance. But if I fell and I fell at home, I could tell him, go get a specific person, whether it was go get Stellar Piper or go get my husband. He would stop and he would go and get the particular person and bring him to me. So I could get some help. Because, especially when my leg's involved, I really can't get up out of the floor by myself. So having someone that can help is huge. Now, if I was traveling and that happened and I fell, then he would stay with me until eventually I could get up, and he would help provide the counterbalancing and stuff, or he would lay on my legs, or he would lay next to me until I got where I could get up. So things like that. Let's see. We had somebody else come in. Okay. I was thinking he was so focused too. Yeah, that's my husband driving. Yes, he was. They asked what your service dog was for. That was the reminder from Valerie. And Annie says, yes, I asked about the service dog. Says, her dog helps with anxiety, depression, and alerts because I live at home. Live alone. Sorry about that. Yeah. And those things are huge. And we have Busy Lady in the house. I want to say hi to Busy Lady. So, hey, girl. That's my girl. You missed Stellar Piper. She already had to leave. Hi, Busy Lady. Please play for Candy. She's having dental cleaning and surgery. Yep. Annie, Janie, and friends. Yep. Alert. I fall sometimes due to cerebral palsy. Dogs are amazing. Yes, they are. They are. They are. They are. And you too, Laurel. Everyone have a blessed rest of the weekend. Good night. Good night to you too, Laurel. Thanks for coming in. And good night, Laurel. Good night, Valerie. Counterbalance, very helpful. Oh, yeah. Sorry I'm late. That's okay, Busy. I'm just glad you're here because I know that you're busy and have things to do. So just glad you're here. So yeah, those are some of the things that Tomlin did for me. I still sometimes talk about them in the present sense, so don't mean anything by that. But here I am with my leg brace to give you an idea of the gizmo that I'm in now. This is my newest one, and it works fabulously. But I still fall. I still have stumble. I still have some issues, So as you all know, I stumbled in the middle of going through the breast stuff. I stumbled and hurt my foot a little bit, but broke my toe, so that was a pain. But anyhow, this is the kind of leg brace that I'm in. Kinetic Research. It's a custom. And what else can I say? There I am taking a little bit of a step there. So anyhow, those are some of the things that he did with me and for me. Just having somebody there. And yeah, there were issues sometimes, like when the NIH refused us, that was not cool. But otherwise, he enriched my life so much and made it possible for me to go and do things like traveling, which I wouldn't have been able to do as much without him. Because, another thing that he does is retrieve. And at home, most of the time, or yeah, I can't even say most of the time, but a lot of the time, if my husband or my daughter was home and I dropped something, I could ask them to pick it up, or sometimes, like balance and get the broom and do the broom thing. But in the van camper, which is where I am when I'm traveling by myself or with a dog, um, things would roll underneath the bed and I can get under there to get them, and I really can't do a broom. So he would, shimmy under there and get whatever I dropped or whatever I needed. Um, he knew, like, if I was in the kitchen, I drop my meds because I shake sometimes and I don't know why. But I would drop my medicine, and I dropped it so many times that he recognized the sound and would come running in to pick up the medicine. I think he thought it was a fetch toy or something, and dive right in and get it. So I wouldn't have any problems with that. And one day, it was such a cute story. Um, we were in the emergency department one day, and I was in the emergency department. This is pre-COVID, so my husband, Stellar Piper, and her husband were all back there in the little room with me, plus, of course, Tomlin. And I was getting stuff out of my purse, and I took the bottle and flipped it out of my purse. He heard it. He alerted, or popped up rather, and went and got it. And then one of the things that he did for me is also help me put trash in the bin. And so he sticks his little nose up after he's retrieved my prescription bottle. Instead of bringing it to me, he had already seen the nurses throw stuff in the trash, a couple of things that I had knocked off, or they had dropped. And so he dived in, picked up the prescription bottle, stuck his nose up, and starts to put it in the trash. And of course, we were like, stop, you know. So my future son-in-law was standing there and grabbed it. So that was a few years ago. That cute story. And of course, he sees your assistance. So this probably tells you way more than what you wanted to know. And I've got some videos on the channel about some of the things that he helped with. So, yeah. So, and if you have any questions, I'm very open. So, don't hesitate to ask. Busy says, how's the service dog fund? Well, you all know, or most of you know, I have been trying to raise funds online to help with the service dog fund to get another one. I was approved with CARES out of Kansas for a service dog and have been doing the fundraising. Let me pull this up. I want to show you, I've got an Instagram fundraiser going on where I'm selling jewelry that I've made, and Stellar Piper too, because she helps me out. So I'll pull this up. And I've very recently completed an auction. But I want to show you, if you go down to the picture, which is way down there, way on down there. Okay. Wrong button. This is where it was back August 26th. We were at 3,000. And what did I do? Okay, I cannot work Instagram. Okay, anyway, we are now at, I still have some people paying, okay, but it looks like I'll have less than $1,000 left to pay on the service dog. But From where I did the auction, like I said, some people are still paying. So I'll give you a better update in a few days. But it looks like I'll have around $850, $900 left to pay, which is huge. And on the Instagram feed, on the Service Dog Fundraiser is the name of it. If you scroll down to the picture of me and my feller there, then you can see how much I need to raise and the updates. And like I said, I don't have an update yet. I was at 3173 raised so far, but we've had obviously more than that with the auction, and it looks like I'll have around $850 to $900 left to pay. But if anybody wants to know in the future, I'll be making an announcement as soon as I have the totals over in the Facebook group. But if you ever want to know otherwise, you can come and check this Instagram. But I'll be making announcements in the Facebook group before updating Instagram. Okay, so that's a big deal. I'm super excited. Service dogs from Cares. The dog itself is $5,000 that you have to raise. And then I have to go spend a couple of weeks out, well, up to a couple of weeks out in Kansas. I'm hearing 1 week. Cares said up to 2 weeks. Not sure yet. Really hoping for 1. So yeah, which Kansas is halfway across the country for me from Virginia, but that's okay. We'll get there. So super stoked. It's been, and it's a 2-year wait. So I got put on the wait list in September of last year. So I'm into this year, and hopefully it won't be too much longer. So yeah. So that's how the Service Dog Fund is. So, and again, once everybody finishes paying, I'll give you a better total. Yes, he will be hard to replace. And when I talked to Cares, I had on their original application, and I've talked to them both by email and verbally, of course, several other times. I had to give them a list of what all I needed the dog to do. And, I filled out the list and then sent it in. And then I'm like, wait a minute, he would do this for me or that for me. And then I realized that I had left some things off the list, because what happened was I got so used to having him here for so long that I just got to where I just didn't even think about it. And then, like, I would drop something and need somebody to retrieve it. Now, some days I'm fine and it's really weird. I can balance and my back is good and life is grand. And then other days, my back is not cooperative. I've got red fire streaks going down my leg and having problems, and I can't manage well. So, what I found out was, I put things on the list that I could remember and think of off the top of my head, but then things would come up and like I would stumble, or I would have problems going up the steps or down the steps, or I would drop something and have problems retrieving it. And then it was like, oh yeah, Tomlin used to do this for me, or Tomlin used to help with this or with that. And I would be on the computer and it would be like 2:00 in the morning and I have totally zoned in. And the last time I've looked at the clock, it was like 10 p.m. And it was like, oh yeah, Tomlin used to remind me. So things like that. So I started noticing a lot more of what he did for me and left a lot of it off the form. So I've had to send bunches of emails to Care saying, oh, by the way, can we put this on the list or that on the list? So, yeah. So he will be hard to replace. And Busy Lady says Tomlin was amazing. And yeah. yeah, he definitely was. And I really think that, he was my first service dog, and he literally pulled my bacon out of the fire a few times. And there's not going to be, I may get other service dogs, but there's not going to be another Tomlin. And I've got to keep reminding myself of that. So, but yeah, he just was amazing. Yeah, we we can't retrieve. I actually got on the list because yeah, how can we forget retrieve? Um, and Annie Janie says I was in the ER once. My dog jumped right up in the bed with me and just laid there. Yep, yep. And I don't know if you had this experience, but the nurses when I was in there were just like totally cool with it. The only thing was I had to go in and have some day surgery done, and he wasn't allowed on the bed then, but he came and he laid down in the floor right next to me, and they were very careful to step around him and very respectful. And then finally I was like, honey, you've just got to move Tomlin closer to you, but very respectful, very nice. Yeah, some days are worse than others, and we need the dog to kick in. I am sorry you understand, but I'm glad that somebody else understands, because you have these good days, and I may have several of them, and then I may have like several super bad days. And it's like if I move wrong or do something wrong with my back, then I start having more of the fire shooting down my leg. And that's when my leg doesn't want to like come and get with time. It just doesn't want to cooperate. So, and that's, it's one of those things that you have to deal with, and dogs are great for that. The other thing that Tomlin would do is he would alert at night and wake me up because I have severe asthma. And when I'm sleeping, whether I'm sleeping, in bed or in the chair or whatever, I don't wake up anymore when I start wheezing. It's not until I get really short of breath that I really wake up. And he would, I guess, hear the whistling or something, and he would come and he would whine, and he would start patting my leg and alerting. And, sometimes at night I would wake up and there would be a nose like right here in my face before he would start doing, the paw. And since not having Tomlin, I have been on steroids more because my lungs, and I think it's because they would get worse longer, because I would start wheezing at night and then go a couple of nights before, oh yeah, this is something I need to be paying more attention to. Or, oh yeah, I've used my inhaler like 3 times today, clued me in. But yeah, he would alert for that. So just amazing. And we have Sabir, New York in. So, hey, how are you? Thank you for joining us tonight. Nice. And Annie and Janie and friends say, absolutely. So, do you mind me asking how long you've had your service dog? Is it a couple of years, all your life? Third or fourth service dog? Because it's interesting. Some of the folks that I have talked to who have had, like 3 and 4 service dogs, because they do age out. And that's one thing I was really fortunate with Tomlin, is as he started getting older, because I wasn't having him do like heavy duty things, like he wasn't having to pull. I wasn't having to push against him to get up. He provided the counterbalancing. But with the retrieval and laying down and alerting and things like that, he was able to work actually until right before he passed away. Also, he got sick and went downhill suddenly. It wasn't a long and gradual thing. So he was able to be with me a lot longer than a lot of other service dogs. Most of the time, for those of you who don't know, they usually age out around 7. And so it's not uncommon for people to have several service dogs over the course of their lifetime. So, okay. Annie says, I also don't like when the general public talks to the dog like any other pet or zoo animal, but I understand they don't know. Yeah. Oh, we could do a whole show on that one. Yeah. Okay. Annie says 13 years and I worry first service dog. Okay. Sorry. 2013, 8 years. And, you do have to worry about them because they're our family, except they're also medical because we rely on them. So you've got that double bonding there. So, yeah. Well, I hope you have many, many years remaining with your service dog because you just can't really describe it. And people have tried to equate having a service dog with having a pet. And it's kind of like that, and I can't speak with everyone, but I can say from my perspective, just talking from me, my bond with Tomlin was, of course, you always want to have a strong bond with a service dog, but mine with Tomlin went way beyond any bond I've ever had with any of my pets. Just really, really tight like that. So, yeah. So 8 years is pretty cool, though. And y'all who just came in, do go ahead and give me a like on the live stream, please, because that really helps me out with all of the algorithms. And let me see. I'm going to pull up Annie's. I'm going to make sure I am on your channel. There we go. So you have somebody new on your channel. I just subbed, so there we go. Annie says, no, not the same. I don't baby my service dog, but I love her, never leaves my side. Yeah. And, that's something, too, that service dog owners, I think, understand more than John Q. Public, and that is you don't have to baby a service dog and treat your service dog like a child to bond tightly with your service dog. And I think that people who have only experienced dogs as pets, they don't understand that. It's okay to baby your service dog some, but you don't want to ever treat it like a child like some people do. I will put Lena on there more. She must be your service dog. So, yeah. I've got to say, I look forward to doing more videos about service dogs because there's such a need for it. Because people are still finding out all the time about service dogs and what to say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do. I've been able to talk to pastors of several churches about how to be more welcoming in your church to someone who has a service animal. And the thing is, churches are not required to follow ADA law about service dogs. And I didn't fully know that until I had to call the ADA, and thank goodness for the Department of Justice information line. But that was explained to me. So, but a lot of churches still want to be welcoming and are perfectly willing to accept a service dog in the midst. So I've been able to help educate some pastors and a couple of church boards on that. So I really look forward to doing more videos about having a service dog because they're so needed. So, aw. Annie says, well, let me say I don't dress her in costumes or dye her hairdo or for the holidays. Yeah. I always think dogs that are, with it like green stripes in their fur. I started to say hair, but in their hair or fur, they look cute. But yeah, it kind of takes away from the service dog's appearance because when you go out and your service dog is too cutesy, people immediately, it's like a magnet. They start coming up and talking to your dog and distracting your dog, and they don't mean to. It just happens. They just don't know. So yeah. Um, I did, but I didn't. I was in a different situation than a lot of people. So, and that is, I have family members who are pastors. So I'm more exposed to church than a lot of people. And I think that's also helped open the doors for other people. I know I was in a church one time and a woman came in and she was blind and she had a service dog and she was having problems getting churches to accept her because of the dog, because they didn't understand that like service dogs are trained not to mess things up. And so she was there and she was telling the pastor that about the hard time that she's having, and he was like, yeah, he said, you need to go talk to Gail, she's got a service dog too. And she was like, oh really, you accept people who have service dogs? And he's like, yeah, she'd yell at me for a long time if I didn't. And he was right, I probably would have, but she decided to join the church because she found out they were accepting. So you just never know sometimes. Okay. Annie says same. Okay. And then she says, my whole community had trouble, but now more accepting. Yeah, it's hard. I think, too, one of the things that I've struggled with, and I've talked to other people who have struggled, it's hard to get over the fact that when you have a service dog, you're also advertising the fact that you have a disability. And if you have a hidden disability, people have to come to terms with that and come to terms with the fact that you have a service dog. And, that's another one of the things that we can talk about too is, just coming to terms with that. Because first, you have to come to terms with that. Because I talked with a woman one day, and she had a service dog, and she really, I can't even explain it. She loved her service dog, but she was still having, even though she'd gotten cleared and had the dog from an agency, and the dog obviously with her 24/7, she was still having problems struggling with acceptance of some of the parts of her disability. It's like she accepted several parts, and that led her to get the service dog. But other aspects of it, she was still struggling with. And I think one of the things that those of us who have service dogs have to come to terms with first is our disability and kind of break through the denial of how much our disabilities affect us, and then come to terms with the fact that we advertise that we have a disability when we get a service dog and we go out in public. So, and that can be tough. Me with my leg brace, I've been fine with the epilepsy and the head injury and stuff like that, even though people can't see it. They can see the effects of it, like they can see if I have a seizure, or they can see if I'm in the middle of the sentence and all of a sudden I can't think of the word. Um, I may tell my family to do things like put the laundry in the refrigerator when I really mean for them to switch the laundry over into the dryer. Or I'll just totally can't come up with any word. And so they can see the results of it. But with my leg brace, it made that aspect of my disability much more obvious. And it's only been since I got this particular leg brace that I have done things like wear it on the outside of my clothes because it works better on the outside of my pants instead of up against my leg, which I know is really weird. It's just a quirk. And I haven't worn a dress until the other day um, because it just felt weird with the leg brace. What can I say? Just one of those things that we get to come into terms with. And I know this is kind of off topic for a travel show, so that's okay though. Annie says, hard to come to terms with your disability. I was a trained nurse and took care of my community, and now I walk with a walker. Hard to accept. Very, very much so. And thank you for all you gave to your community as being a nurse, because I know that's really, really hard. So, because I know I can just imagine too, because you used to be a nurse and take care of people who have a disability, and now you're in a situation where you have a service dog. That had to be really tough. And Annie says, but in a way, it takes the focus off me and my walker and onto the dog. I can see where that would be a good thing. I really can. So, yeah, I can see that. So, yeah. Well, I know this is off topic some from, Thanksgiving and travel and stuff, but I really have appreciated talking to you about this. And I look forward to, you know, doing more videos about having a dog. So it's just, one of those things that there's this ache when you don't have your service dog anymore. And so I've done some videos talking to people and stuff about having service dogs, but I'm really looking forward to having the help and then also making other videos about that. Don't cry. No, don't cry. Not unless it's a healthy cry. Not unless it's a healthy cry. And I do have another channel um, where it's pretty supportive of people who are in the struggle like this, and it's called Overcoming the Obstacles. I'm going to see about bringing that up here. And I'm going to put that in the comments, not in the comments, in the that section. It is comments. What am I doing? It's in the comment section. It's called Overcoming the Obstacles, and it's about people who have done just that. And it's faith related, but it's not strictly focused on faith. And like I've had people come in who have talked about, having epilepsy, having service dogs. During Easter, I did random acts of kindness. I've had people talk about overcoming child abuse. So hopefully one day I'll get more hours in the day and be able to spend more time on that channel. Yeah, that would be great. She says maybe we can do a collab on my channel about the dog. Yeah, that would be great. Just let me know when and where, and or not when and where, when and how, if you do it through StreamYard, or if you want to do a live stream at all, or however you would like to do it. Yeah, just let me know. I think I think my email address is down there in the box. Let me just check, because sometimes I forget to put it in. Yeah, it's down there. It is in the description box. It's the last line in the description box, but I'll type it in too. It's Gail at gailcrabtree.com. I spell it weird though, thanks to my mom. Our names, that's one thing we can fully blame on our parents that they can't get upset with us about because it is totally their fault. So, yeah, the email address is down there. So don't hesitate to email me, and we can set that up and talk about it. That'll be really cool. So, and I've subscribed to your channel. I love that you're doing some of the crafting and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. Because unfortunately / fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, I have yet to meet a craft except for crowned cross stitch. And I will give that exception. But other than that, I've not met a craft I didn't like. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of yours. Okay, it's in the about section too. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, well, I will say usually I cut this off at about 8, but I've really enjoyed talking to you, so I've gone a lot longer. So thank you for hanging out with me and your input and your questions and everything, because I've appreciated that. Yeah, we can educate the public about our special fur babies, Yeah, absolutely. And I really think that is just super important to do. I have several videos about having a service dog and some of the questions I've been asked. And yeah, it's mind boggling the amount of education that's still needed. And even I had a health problem a few years ago and had to go to the National Institutes of Health, and they denied me. And I had to get the Department of Justice involved because they didn't even understand service dog law. And I'm like, you guys are the government. You're a government agency. And if you guys can't understand service dog law, we need to fix this. And so, yeah, the end result was they had to rewrite their entire service dog policy to come into compliance with federal law and do some training to retrain staff because I complained. So, yeah, would love to do some more education about service dogs. So, if you have time and you want to do the collab you mentioned, absolutely, I'm down for it. So, let me know. So, all right. So, thank you and good chat. I hope you have a great evening. And to those of you who tune in later, I just want to say that on this channel, we're always about the hashtag Be Bodacious, which is also my channel name. And that means you're not going to let life get in the way of living. We have our obstacles, but we can overcome some, and we can learn to live within our parameters so that our obstacles and our challenges don't have to stop us from living. So always go out and be bodacious. And thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you on videos during the week and next Saturday at 7. So hashtag be happy is Annie and Janie and friends. So awesome. I like that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you Saturday. Good night. Good night, Annie. Thank you for hanging out with me.